Verizon has agreed to buy Yahoo for a whopping $4.8 billion. The internet giant has been struggling to keep up with its competitors in search, social media, and video. Under Verizon, Yahoo will now be integrated with its former rival AOL. Earlier today, Yahoo CEO Marissa Mayer talked to CNBC about the merger.
We've completely modernized the product line, and we've gone mobile. We've invented new forms of advertising. We've driven towards the programmatic buying, the overall buying push that we see happening from advertisers. And our user base has grown by more than 50%. We're well over 1 billion users on a monthly basis now. We've tripled our mobile audience to more than 600 million monthly active users. And we built new lines of business from basically nothing in 2011 to $1.6 billion in GAAP revenue last year across our investment businesses that we call Mavens. And so overall, we set out to create a stronger, more modern version of Yahoo, and that's very much happened. And we're very excited about what we're able to offer the market there. And also today is an important step for shareholders in terms of finally, taking the step of separating our Alibaba stake and our Yahoo Japan stake from the operating business is an important step to unlock value for shareholders.
The Street Research Director, Jack Mohr, is with me to break it all down. Jack, so tell me, what's the purpose? What's driving this merger today?
I mean, I think it's well understood that Yahoo has a total fall from glory. I mean, we're talking about a company that was once worth $125 billion, and now it's being sold for $4.8 billion. So a lot of people are focusing on that as a fire sale, as a desperate spiraling company, and that to a certain extent is true. But I think another more interesting side of the story is Verizon. Verizon's struggling in and of in its own realm. It's struggling competing against AT&T. Sprint, for instance, shares of Sprint are up 20% today, not because of any takeover speculation, but because it had an incredible quarter. Both Sprint and T-Mobile are taking share from Verizon, and Verizon is no longer the leader. AT&T has kind of cemented itself, and it's not losing share. So it's a defensive play by Verizon to acquire Yahoo, to acquire the massive customers, the 1 billion monthly active users, the 600 million mobile active users. We know how important mobile is. So I think both sides need each other in order to power their own platforms. And as standalones, I don't think they're valuable. Certainly not Yahoo.
Jay, 6 CEOs for Yahoo in over 20 years. There was so much buzz when Marissa Mayer took over. And I remember back in the day, not too long ago, when Yahoo was what Google is today.
Yep.
So what happened?
So a few things went wrong. I mean, and that's why I think you can't place all the blame with Marissa Mayer. The decisions that led to the unraveling happened 15 years ago. She certainly didn't, I don't think, help the case. I think she accelerated the decline to a certain extent. But they stopped in 2001 investing in search indexing. So they essentially thought the internet was too large in order that search functionality wasn't that important. Then Google came along, and then they tried to acquire Google for $1 billion. Google said no. And then 4 years later, they tried to go into the advertising realm on social media. They tried to buy Facebook when it was nascent in 2006 for $1 billion. Facebook said no. They probably could have acquired each of those companies if they had been more respectful. Both of those companies combined are worth over $1 trillion today. So I think those were some of the decisions. And then you enter Marissa Mayer. The company had never had a vision. They tried to do everything under her. She made 50 acquisitions in 3 years. So I think sometimes when you try to do everything, you're doing nothing. And so I think they need to consolidate and focus on the things that are working and define verticals, but it will take time.
So what's next for Yahoo? Where do you see this going?
I think that they're going to have to consolidate those franchises within Yahoo that don't make sense. I think they're going to have to focus on the sports and there's an NFL streaming contract that's up for grabs this summer that Verizon is planning to bid on. And I think they can leverage that with Yahoo's fantasy sports and provide live streaming data. So I think the next steps have to be methodical. They have to be slow because all the decisions in Yahoo's history that have led to its demise have been made quickly, abruptly, and rapidly. And I think that everyone understands that change will not happen overnight. There is value that can be created, but it will take time.
Jay Mohr with The Street. Thank you, Jay.